and welcome everyone to our very first virtual debate, Osceola 2020. My name is Rob Rosen. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones. Today I will be the moderator for this debate. First and foremost, I'd like to thank our sponsors, because without our sponsors, this event would not be possible. Our sponsors for today are Kissimmee Utility Authority, the Osceola Star newspaper, and the Orlando Magic. This time, I'd like to welcome the candidates today that we have with us. First, we have Mr. Brandon Arrington, as well as Mr. Marcos Marrero, both candidates for Osceola County Commission, District 3. At this time, I go over the debate details. Each candidate will have a 1-minute opening statement. We also have our panelists with us, who I'll introduce in a second. Each panelist will ask 3 questions. I will let you know who the question is and then who's answering first, and I will rotate back and forth. Each candidate will have 1 minute to answer each question. After all questions have been asked and answered, each candidate will have a 30-second closing statement. Being virtual and with a 1-minute timer, what I'm going to do is at the 50-second mark, I'm going to raise my hand, letting you know you have 10 seconds left. If you don't mind, please try to end it soon after that. I don't want to be the rude guy and have to cut you off, but this is the 10-second left. So today, our panelists are Mr. Lewis from Univision and Roxana Della Riva from La Prensa newspaper. So we will start off today, Brandon, with your 1-minute opening statement.
Thank you, Rob, and thank you to the panelists for being involved in this. It's a great opportunity for all voters to get more education and to have a better understanding of who the candidates are out there. It's been my honor and pleasure to have served Osceola County for a number of years as your county commissioner. And in that time, we've made great strides in not only improving our public safety, our infrastructure, and also some of the economic opportunities here in Osceola County. Right now, though, we all are facing the challenges that COVID-19 has put upon our community, where we've seen high unemployment rates, people facing evictions, and also food lines longer than we could ever imagine at our food pantries. It's been very important that Osceola County has been at the forefront of making sure our community is safe and continuing to fight for our fair share of federal and state dollars to make sure our community is looked after, and not just communities that are over the 500,000 in population size. This has been a big challenge that we faced in Osceola County and other communities our size that face the same thing. With our governor holding back those funds that are so vital and important to making sure people are able to stay in their homes and also stay fed. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, Brandon. Now, Mr. Marcos Marrero, your 1-minute opening statement.
Hello, as was mentioned, my name is Marcos Marrero, candidate for Osceola County District 3. As a resident of Point Siena specifically for about 20 years now, I've seen how our community has just completely grown and expanded. When I first moved here, it was originally nothing but cow pastures and orange groves. But I've seen that through the past few years, taxes have continued to increase. Our traffic has gotten nothing but worse. Transparency within our government is completely lacking, and jobs have been stifled by bad policy. So that's why I'm here running right now. I want to make sure that we have the proper changes in government to bring those things and bring them into the 21st century so that our community can live, play, and work within the same community that they live in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our first question will be from Luis from Univision, and Mr. Marrero, you will be answering first this time around. So your first question, Luis, please.
Okay, what is the biggest challenge your district is facing right now, and how will you solve this issue?
Well, most of the people living in our community are going to say that the first thing that they deal with every day is traffic. What I've tried to do is create a plan where we look at our intersections and figure out which ones are the worst. Once we do that, then we can go ahead and start doing a little bit of studying and figuring out better ways to handle each intersection. When you notice where our traffic is bottlenecking, it's at the individual intersections. So if we can make those intersections better, whether it be through a roundabout, a flyover, or simply upgrading the technology used in our traffic lights, you can drastically see a decrease in those traffic spots.
Thank you, Mr. Marrero. Same question, Mr. Arrington.
Thank you, Luis, for the question. You know, I think the biggest issue our community faces right now is the uncertainty of COVID-19 and what that looks upon us as far as education opportunities and job opportunities. Being a high minority district, we've obviously seen that COVID-19 impacts minority communities harder than it does Anglo. Fortunately, Osceola County was one of the first counties in the state to put the mask mandate in place, and also began moving dollars from our current general operating fund into rental assistance and as well as food pantry assistance. I'm sure people are concerned about traffic, but I know people are more concerned about actually being able to stay in their home, making sure the federal government either does another round of funding or stimulus checks, and also dealing with the moratorium and eviction crisis that's at hand. We have a high rental population in District 3, and those are a lot of folks that are going to be facing the uncertainty of evictions and foreclosures coming in the near months. And we've got to be able to do our part and utilize those federal dollars to make sure folks are able to stay in their homes and more people don't end up homeless in our community. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Ms. Arrington. Now, next, Roxana De La Riva will ask her first question, and Mr. Arrington, you will be first to answer.
Thank you for having me in this debate. I'm from La Prensa newspaper. I am a reporter, and I would like to, like Mr. Arrington say, COVID-19 pandemic has caused a lot of hardship in our country. But before that, you face housing shortage. How do you think to resolve this big issue in your district, the housing problem?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Roxana, for the question. One of the things we've been doing in Osceola County specifically is looking at diversifying housing product. This is a big issue in our community. And I say that because there are a lot of 3-bedroom and 2-bath homes, and that's not for everyone. There are a lot of single family parents. There are a lot of single individuals who would love a studio, who would love garden apartments. And so we've really looked at trying to create diversity in the product that gets built in our community. And one of the key assets that I've really pushed is ancillary dwelling units. These are garage apartments, mother-in-law suites. This allows you as a private owner, property owner, to build something on your property to create revenue for you as a homeowner, but also to create an opportunity for a single mother who might have 2 kids to move into a better neighborhood and a better school district because of an ancillary dwelling unit. These are things we can do individually, immediately, that don't take government assistance, and we can have a direct impact in our community at a much faster pace. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arrington. Mr. Marrero, same question.
Yeah, so when we look at the housing issue within our county, we notice that a lot of the problems derive from essentially government involvement. Right now, there are plenty of developers wanting to redevelop a lot of the hotels and motels that are dilapidated on 192. The reason they can't do that is because our local government has gotten in the way by increasing impact fees or making it difficult through the permitting process. So I'd say that the solution for that is simply to lower the impact fees for these developers trying to essentially create efficiency and studio style housing for these individuals, as well as getting a lot of the permitting as easy and simplistic as possible. The quicker that we are able to redevelop these properties, the quicker that they can get out to market. Not only do you provide these new living housing situations for individuals to be able to rent them, but it also creates a flood in the market where you will see decreases in a lot of these property rates.
Thank you, Mr. Marrero. Next, Luis from Univision will ask your second question, and Mr. Marrero, you will go first this time.
Okay, I would like to hear a little bit more about this, thing that we have been, living day to day with this pandemic. And I'm really interested to hear about job opportunities. What are you going to do to develop or to bring more jobs to the district and also to the county?
So specifically what I've been looking at is trying to work on what has historically made Osceola County great. Originally, Osceola was a cattle and ranching community, so I don't see why we have to push away from that. What I've been wanting to see is the county work with the states to possibly allow cattle ranchers to cultivate and use hemp as a product to not only feed their cattle, but also use it as a cash crop. Hemp has one of the highest yields available for a cash crop, meaning that it can grow quickly and be cultivated very quickly. And it can be used on a broad spectrum of items, including shampoos, construction materials, to lotions, to everything, essentially. It not only provides us with that cash crop, but also allows us to get feed, which is much needed for our cattle locally. We can go ahead and start using this to essentially boost that cattle and ranching industry. These are jobs that essentially everyone works very far away. So considering that COVID is an issue, it allows for that social distancing as well.
Thank you, Mr. Marrero. Ms. Arrington, same question.
Thank you, Rob. And thank you, Luis, for the question. One of the key things that I've worked on in my time as a county commissioner is expanding education opportunities, because I believe a better educated society creates better jobs and higher paying jobs. And so we've invested in a Valencia campus, which is on Pleasant Hill Road. And that campus alone has helped raise post-secondary education rates in District 3 by 50%. That means kids now at a higher clip are going to college or skills training opportunities to allow them to go out and get higher paying jobs. One of the things we've done specifically in regards to COVID-19 is partnered with Valencia and used CARES Act dollars to provide education opportunities for people who have been directly impacted by COVID-19. These are free scholarships for folks that are out of work who can hurry up and go get a new skills classification, either at the Poinciana campus, at the Advanced Manufacturing Training Facility in Kissimmee, or at the main campus in Kissimmee as well. It's a great way to improve your skills in this downtime to be able to move to a higher paying job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arrington. Next, Roxana, you asked your second question, and Mr. Arrington, you will answer first.
Thank you.
Okay. Like you know, the big concern from residents of Osceola County is the environment. How you will be to prevent to bring more collage in the next years if you are elected, if any of you are elected?
Sure. Thank you, Roxana, for the question. Fortunately, Osceola County is very environmental friendly. We have over 75% of our entire county is protected by an urban growth boundary that limits one dwelling unit per 5 acres in that entire 75% of our community. We've also had a program that was voted on by our citizens, which is our land protection program, where we actually went and bought lands throughout Osceola County to save for an environmental state. As a county commission, we've also enacted one of the most progressive tree ordinances in the state of Florida that works at protecting our oak hammocks to make sure they're viable for not only the first 100 years that they've been in place, but also for the next 100 years as well. We also have the largest water reclamation project, which deals with cleaning the water in our lakes here at Neo City. It's over a 100-acre pond that uses water that would normally flow into our lake, will flow into this pond, be treated, and then flow into Lake Toho before it flows downstream to the Everglades. Those are just a few of the things that we've done and will continue to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arrington. Mr. Marrero, same question.
So yeah, environment, just like the rest of our community, is very important to me. That's the reason that I support not tearing down Split Oak to build a road through it. It's also the reason why I stood up against the coal ash incident. It's one of those issues where each time the environment is destroyed, it's always a last minute option for the commission. One thing that I would definitely do is not allow any more last minute agenda items. Agendas under my watch, or at least if I can get the other commissioners to agree, will be set in stone at least a week in advance. That way everyone knows exactly what's coming up, and you won't have these environmental debacles happening anymore. Secondly, I would go ahead and start working to stop all coal ash from coming into this county. Right now, it only came in from Puerto Rico, but we need to stop it from coming from anywhere else as well.
If I could make a point of correction, that comment on coal ash is not true. Coal ash has been coming into this county for over 20 years and actually continues to do so by state mandate. FDP regulates coal ash here in our state, and they actually control where it can go and what facilities it can go to. I just wanted to correct that information.
Thank you, Mr. Arrington.
And I'll let you guys again have your 30-second closing where you can say anything you like as well, so just to let everybody know.
Thank you. I apologize.
No, you're fine. Next, we have Louis from Univision. We'll ask your third and final question. And Mr. Marrero, you will answer first.
Okay, Mr. Marrero, I want to hear which are your best qualifications to become a commissioner for District 3.
So I have actually been involved in politics for a while now. I've ran multiple campaigns. We've only failed at one so far. So I've ran Tony Busby out of the city of St. Cloud, who sadly we did not win there. But we also ran Larry Schneck for Soil and Water Board, as well as Felix Ortiz for City of Kissimmee. I've also worked for many years in the legal field, which has given me a lot of experience being able to read and write a lot of legal documents. Obviously, with not being an attorney myself, all of these documents have to go to an attorney, but I can gladly say that lots of my work doesn't really get many changes done to it. So that's just a few of my qualifications.
Thank you, Mr. Marrero. Same question, Mr. Arrington.
Thank you. Thank you, Luis, for the question. I'm running for county commissioner once again because this is my hometown. This is where I was born and raised and had the opportunity to grow up and have some of the best moments of my life. But also my experience in working in the nonprofit field, but also just being involved in our community. I'm the only candidate in this race that actually qualified by the signatures of the people. Every other candidate in this race wrote a check to do so. I continuously volunteer for Meals on Wheels every Friday with my wife. And I've also worked hard during this time to make sure our food pantries have stayed stocked so everybody, and especially those with kids and seniors, can have a warm or cold meal every single day. It's my passion for this community and my love to serve and help lift those up that have less opportunities than I've had. And that's why it's important that I've run and will continue to run to help this community be a better place to live for everyone that's here.
Thank you, Mr. Arrington. This time, Roxana De La Riva from La Prensa newspaper will ask your third and final question. And Mr. Arrington, you will start us off.
Okay, Mr. Arrington, what is your big accomplishment like county commissioner? And Mr. Marrero, what did you need to change in this district, in your opinion?
Sure. Thank you so much for the question, Roxana. It's been awesome. We've created the Point Siena Parkway, which is a new way out of Point Siena. We lobbied and built a brand new hospital in Point Siena. I lobbied with our state legislative government and got a brand new permanent health clinic in our community. I worked with our community and Valencia and created a brand new Valencia campus. We've added a Tico campus to Point Siena as well. We've widened all of Point Siena Boulevard and are about to do the last segment, which will be done in 2024. We've done a lot. We've expanded links. I've lobbied and brought Sunrail home to our community and made it a reality. We've also created a sustainability policy, which works to balances our tax base with residential, industrial, and commercial so we can cut down on our overall commute. I've invested in public safety where we've now built a police training facility, a fire training facility. We also have the highest financial rating in the history of our county. And we're about to do $250 million worth of road construction over the next 4 years. So I've had a lot of great accomplishments, and with your help, we'll have a couple more in the next 4 years.
Thank you, Mr. Arrington. Same question, Mr. Marrero.
So I think my question was, what was one of the things that I wanted to change? So definitely it's communication with our constituencies. Not only do I want to start having more town halls or having town halls to begin with in my community, I want to be able to have open communication with my constituents. I want to know exactly what their issues are in their daily lives. I want to have an open door policy. So what I want to do is see if I can get part of the county website to essentially have my calendar available to the public so that they can just go online, log in, set up an appointment with me and come and see me whenever they'd like. I'd also like to get our Spanish community much more involved. It definitely helps me that I am bilingual. I speak both English and Spanish and a little bit of Creole. So I want to make sure that we have those individuals involved in our local government. And the only way we can do that is if we speak the language. So having that communication with our constituency is very important to me.
Thank you, Mr. Marrero. At this time, we will move on to our closing statements. And Mr. Marrero, 30 seconds, your closing statement.
So obviously, again, my name is Marcos Marrero. I'm running for Osceola County Commission 3. You can always visit me at my website at marrero2020.com. And if you want to see things change, if you want to see our traffic start getting better, our taxes being lowered, and you want to see just the transparency within our government increase, I urge you to vote for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Marrero. Mr. Arrington, your 30-second final.
First want to thank you, Rob, for having us today, and Roxana and Luis, thank you for the questions.
Thank you.
It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve as your county commissioner these last 12 years, and we've made great strides. And if you're looking for a candidate to once again look for practical solutions and not make daydream statements where we're going to lower taxes and build more roads, vote for an honest person, a person who actually says what he's going to do and gets the job done. And so with your help and support, I look for another 4 years. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you both to both our candidates from Osceola County Commission District 3, Mr. Brandon Arrington and Mr. Marcos Marrero. Also, thank you to our panelists, Luis from Univision, as well as Roxana De La Riva from Prensa newspaper. Thank you both for being here. Thanks for everything. Thanks for everybody at home for watching us. Have a great day.
Thank you guys once again. Y'all have a great day now. Thanks again, guys.